Could you tell me what it means to you now to listen close and see heartbreak at the end? But this road where people spend their life just chasing, oh, it ends up heartache. Nothing I can say.
Hey guys, welcome to Surf and Show. I'm Noel Salas, and today's episode is the first of a series we're going to do where we're trying to pick the right fin for the right board type. This is going to be a great episode, so sit back, get your favorite drink, and enjoy the show. Now, each episode in this series, I want to establish three things. I want to do surfboard category, fin template, and wave type. For example, the Machado Seaside, we're going to put it in the Groveler small wave fish performance category. Then we have the Rocket Wide for a small wave performance board. We have the Holy Grail as a daily driver. Then we have the Sci-Fi, which I believe fits in two categories, which would be small wave performance and daily driver. Then we have the Mason by Lost, which is an asymmetrical board that kind of has its own category. And then we have the JS Monster 8, which is your high performance shortboard. Now what sparked our interest to do this series is something new Futures is coming out with. It's a family of fins they call the Legacy series. So it's three different templates. You've got a pivot fin, a neutral fin, and a raked fin. Each template is different, but all three templates have the same fin area. So our concept in this series is simple. We're going to take a surfboard in a category. We're going to look at its attributes. And then we're going to pick a fin template in which we think will maximize the performance for that board in different wave types. So if we want to pivot quick, we'll take this fin. Maybe we want to work on our rail game and do some big carves, then we'll take the raked fin. Maybe it's somewhere in the middle, but what I love about what Futures has done here is because the fin area is the same, we'll be able to feel the difference in each fin template and maximize fun in the waves you choose to surf. As we dive into the Seaside, I'm pretty much just talking about the Groveler category in general. That's for waves that are in 1 to 3 feet, good paddlers, lots of speed. Now, whether it's a surfboard I've reviewed in the past or just what's on a lot of the shop floors right now. If I haven't reviewed it, you guys ask me a lot of questions about it, but I think if we just talk about the attributes and point out certain things, this will help you make some good decisions on your own. So, what I see in a lot of these boards is we have low entry rocker, we have flat belly rocker with low to medium exit rocker. Because this is about speed. This is about good paddling. So there's a lot of foam usually up here up in the front because we want that quick get up and go speed, but there are some things that happen when we take out the belly rocker on a board, it's going to tighten the board up a little bit. And what I mean by that is if in your high performance shortboards, if it has a lot of rocker, it feels really loose under your front foot. So when we remove that, the shapers are offsetting that by making the board shorter. So this board's 5'2", and if I'm 5'9", I can pretty much put this board wherever I want. And as long as it has that 26 and a half liters that I like, I'm going to be able to catch waves easy because of design and all the foam distribution. So for me, it's really simple. As we begin to point out the way the boards are being designed, what the downsides are, then we'll know how to offset that with our fin choices. So let's look at another thing. We have its wide point front from center, right? We talk about this all the time. A lot of foam up front under the chest so we can paddle real good. But with that wide point front from center, that's also going to draw my turns out a bit. So it's going to be a little bit more like longer turns or carving, right? Again, how do they offset that? We make it 5'2". We take it shorter. See, but some of the things that I believe, if you're not riding the board as a advanced expert or pro surfer, I feel like if you can't take advantage of it being super short at 5'2", there will be some limitations to what this board can do for you. And that's when I think the best way to offset that is with a pair of fins. If I'm riding a 5'2" at 160 pounds, some of you guys are 160 pounds and you're riding 5'5", right? You're riding maybe 33 liters, and that's okay. But the longer the board and the more surface area and everything that you're adding to, it's going to take you longer to turn the board. So for me, I can jump into a raked fin and still do some great carves on some open face, and this board will work just fine. But for you guys that are riding a lot more board and it's taking longer to make those turns quick, that's when I recommend the pivot fin. This is going to make this board pivot way faster and keep it super fun for you guys in all kinds of different waves. Now that's another thing we have to consider is the wave type. Now if you're surfing a lot of beach breaks and the beach breaks are peaky and you want to get 2 quick turns off real quick, that's probably not going to happen with a fin with a lot of rake and a wide point on a board that's forward front from center. So there's certain things that I think that when you look at a board and you're at a shop and you're thinking about buying something and you don't know enough about it, put the board on the ground. Look at where the wide point is. Start thinking about how wide is the tail. We always talk about the tail when there's a wing or a bump or a hip. They're reducing surface area. Why? So you can get more performance out of your turns. All these things matter. But what I love about the fins, the Legacy series, is they're keeping the same fin area. You can choose a pivotal fin, a neutral fin, or a raked fin, and you can manipulate this board to surf the way you want. Now, one of the things I haven't mentioned yet is the Legacy series fins come in the honeycomb construction, which is middle of the ride number. So not too stiff and not too flexible. So this is really about feeling out what feels good under your feet on these boards. So if you're thinking, what would I choose if I had never ridden the Seaside before? I'd probably go with the F8 because it's so short at 5'2". I would want a little bit of control. I know that I can trust the honeycomb construction. So this will give me a good gauge of which way I want to go if I want to switch fins. Now, F8 is the neutral large. They also make it in the pivot. This is called the P8. And then the rake one's called the R8. Now, they also make it in the medium. That would be the F6 for neutral. And then they have the P6 for pivot and the R6 for rake. And I think for you guys that are riding boards that are a little bit bigger because you like to catch more waves and maybe you're not as in the pocket type of surfing like I am, I recommend you start right off with the pivot fin on your grovelers, just so that way you can get the board to turn and manipulate it the best and the quickest possible for you. Well guys, I hope you enjoyed today's episode on picking the right fin template for your groveler. Look, to learn a little bit more about the Futures Legacy series, head over to Futures website, or if you have questions for me, just hit me up in the comment field below. Look, if you like the show, subscribe. You can also find us at surfandshow.com. That's it for now. Take care. See you in the water. Bye-bye.
Close and see heartbreak at the end. But this road where people spend their life just chasing, oh, it ends up heartache. Nothing I can say. Gratitude.